So, like, another thing that I've been thinking about is just in terms of things feel really strange in the world right now, and not just the pandemic. Even if the pandemic hadn't happened, I think things feel really strange. The way technology is accelerating, well, that's also due to the pandemic, to be fair. It's accelerated the past year and a half to a crazy amount. I think finally things like artificial intelligence are maybe on the verge of slightly becoming intelligent, and things just seem like they are accelerating quickly, and it's leading to this weird conflict in just society and people and the way we interact. I think things are getting really weird, and people can feel that. And things always feel like it's like a bubble that's gonna pop. And it feels like that. It feels like as a society or as like a people or as how things are barely functioning. Things are just held with duct tape and glue, and it feels like it's gonna pop and it's just gonna go to shit. But I also realize that every generation feels this way. In the 1930s, people felt this way. In the 60s, people felt this way. In the 90s, people felt this way. In the 2000s, people felt this way. And now people feel this way. And it's very hard to tell the difference between, is this going to shit, or is this just the normal cycle that we go through? And now we just have it that technology is also accelerating really quickly. And it also always has accelerated quickly, you know. If you think about fucking the 50s, the 1950s and 60s, things accelerated from one decade to the next. The world changed, people changed, the way we interacted changed, what we looked for changed, the things we aspired for changed. Everything changed. Wealth changed, properties changed, everything changed. And now we're having the same experience, but with technology. And it is completely fucking tearing apart and rebuilding the way we interact with each other, the way we look at each other, and how much personal stuff in people's lives we see. Now we can just look into people's lives to such a crazy degree. It's frightening. It's very scary. And it just feels like we are now we've been in the dystopian future for a while, but we're really putting the building blocks down for being in a very dystopian sort of world. Very, very dystopian, and it feels uncomfortable. It just doesn't feel like things. And for me, in my core, everything just feels fucking off. Everything feels off in my personal life all the time, which is just how I like feel and live. But for other things in the actual world, it just doesn't feel like it's working properly. Things are crumbling, yet just being held together. Like another pillar of the fucking society falls, and it's like glued back together, and it just seems to hold, but it feels like it's a bridge that's being held together by glue, and it's like it could fall any second, but it just isn't. It's really, really bizarre, and I cannot tell, as I said, if it is just this is just how things have been for eternity, and every person and generation, you know, there's the need to feel special as a human being, to feel like the time you were born in is the special time. Like there's the feeling of this moment right now, what I'm living in right now, this is a historic, important time. You know, I was born in an important time. I'm an important person born in an important time. Everyone wants to feel important and important times, but this feels different. Even though I haven't experienced life another timeline, this feels really fucking odd. And you know, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with it, but I just think that's very interesting. Because how long can it go like this is really the question, because clearly things aren't functioning well. We've got so many things. We've got physical problems in the world, the planet, climate change. We've got the political side, that's fucked. We've got the social side, that's fucked. We've got poverty, very fucked up. We've got sort of, you know, capitalist technological improvements which are accelerating crazy fast. You know, like this phone, 5 years ago you couldn't have quality like this recording on a phone and stuff. We have amazing sort of breakthroughs in technology, and we've got amazing things because the way the world is working, you know, everything is run by money and, you know, capital, and it accelerates things quickly, and things can be exciting and change and be really, really cool. But then we also have the thing of things aren't working well, and people are just getting on and on and on and just keep going and going and going because they need to survive and need to live. But it just feels like it's all crumbling, and it really just makes I have like me personally, I have no faith in the world or the society or how everything's working. Like, I don't put any faith in it because I just realize it doesn't have my back. I don't have its back. I don't care about it. It doesn't care about me. That's the way I view it. And I never will care about it or it care about me. And I know it won't. It will always lure you in to feel like, you need to do these things and things will pay off and, and things can pay off, but I just don't trust it fully. I can trust momentary blips to get through to the next section, to do little bits, to put in work here and there for things, but overall, I don't trust it, I don't trust working my entire life and stuff because I know that I will just get slammed in a second. Any financial collapse, and you're fucked. Even and that's just one example. There's other collapses. It could be political collapse, socialist collapse. There's so many different collapses that can happen. And the money one is coming. We're in a bubble. It's gonna pop, and it's not gonna pop in the next year. It's gonna be the next 2 or 3 years. Some huge economic problem, recession is gonna happen. It's gonna pop. We haven't even hit the start of the pandemic's effect on the financial system, which is all artificially manipulated anyway. It's all just bullshit. And yeah. I don't know. I just think, shit. Is this what everyone has experienced? Was the Cold War, it's feeling like, oh shit, we're at the edge. Of course it was feeling like that. So this is what makes me think it's just the times. And it's hard to just get up and go and be like, I have faith in the world. I'm going to build my life and my future because, it, I can have my place in the world because it's all just gobbledygook. And, you also don't want to just sit by talking to a phone, thinking about the world, talking about it, thinking it's all doom and gloom, and then realizing 20 years later, it's fine, we're in the year 2040, everything's still functioning. That same feeling, but everything still went on. And I'm sure that's probably going to be the case. Everything's just going to continue on and just work barely, but work. And you're just going to be like, I regret the last 20 years thinking and contemplating and thinking what could have been and what will and what won't be instead of actually living. And that's the difficult part because you have to just live in a world that feels like it's barely functioning and you have to build and progress, but it feels like it's constantly going to collapse. Very odd, very weird. I don't know how people have done it before. I don't know how generations have done it before. I don't know how people do it now. They clearly do. There's a lot of people that just do pretty well and get on with it. But it's interesting, nevertheless. Will I ever figure it out? I don't know. Do I think I will? Probably not. And I think that's also interesting, though. Yeah, that's my second thought of the day. I've probably got another 5, 6, 7, 8 thoughts that I've had today. But I just wanted to record these quick 2 ones just now because, you know, I've had quite a stressful day, and I just feel just a bit confused as usual, and just need to vent my thoughts and opinions and see if I'm to look back in a couple of weeks on the videos that I take now and think if I'm in a state of clarity or delusion, because I struggle to see the difference a lot of the time, to be fair. Because in my moments of complete clarity, it always seems to be when I look back at them, I was delusional. In my moments of delusion, I look back and it seemed like it was clarity. It never makes fucking sense. It really never makes sense. Well, that was a roller coaster. Jesus.